after Iran announced that it was going to be in the United States backyard, and yes, they did announce that they were going to station warships in the Panama Canal after building ties with Latin America. There's even a map showing where Iran is already at and all the places that they plan to go. Yeah, right in our backyard, and most of these countries already got problems happening down there. Anyways, back to the point, Iranian general threatens the United States and Israel. Soon the great Satan will be destroyed. The deputy commander of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps repeats threats to destroy Israel and the United States. He also boasts about military capabilities. Geez, between them, China, and Russia, who wants to destroy us more? Not including North Korea, too, I guess. An Iranian general boasted on Tuesday that the Islamic Republic will soon have the military capability to destroy Israel and the United States. How are they going to destroy us without nuclear weapons? Unless they got a little help. I mean, it's only been a couple of days since Putin used the Medvedchuk article to threaten Europe with nuclear war, saying now there is only two options: to slide into a world war nuclear conflict or to start the peace process again, which the West and Russia both say is off the table. The United States is warming up to the prospect of helping Ukraine target the Crimean Peninsula, which everyone has been worried about up till now about a nuclear conflict with Russia, or World War III, because this is Russia's most vital area right now, even though it's part of Ukraine. A U.S. official is also saying Japan is rolling out specific plans to support Ukraine. Japan is expected to roll out plans at the appropriate time to support Ukraine against Russia's invasion. So far, it hasn't been announced what Japan is going to help Ukraine with. And since we're talking about the big bad wolves, we might as well talk about North Korea firing a ballistic missile after a new engine test. North Korea fired at least 2 suspected medium-range missiles on Sunday. Don't forget, they're supposed to be close to doing a nuclear test. The president of Poland, Duda, is now saying that the war in Ukraine affects energy security. Also saying that it not only threatens Ukraine, but it threatens them too. And is also going to send 200 more armored vehicles to Ukraine. They also announced a round of military aid that'll be worth up to $90 million. Seems like everybody's on board with helping Ukraine. And a naval intel chief says China is building for war in every area. The Chinese military is engaged in an alarming buildup of forces in every warfare area. Now I see why this is a dangerous world. Everyone seems to be preparing for war, and nobody seems to be wanting to push for peace. And every time that happens, the world gets out of control, because that means we have no leadership. From over here in the J Team, wake up, and it's time to prepare.
Okay, Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and salutation I came out there that push this word in truth and in sincerity. This is the year, the hopeful year that all the prophecies come to pass. What we have here, you got this guy on TikTok putting up different articles, recent articles about all these different nations gearing up for war, test firing nuclear missiles. Not only are they test firing nuclear missiles, they sending weaponry to Ukraine. They threatening America. You got Iran, with making deals with Latin America, and they putting warships in Latin America in the backyard of the United States government, which is interesting because Russia and Iran, China, North Korea, they are allies. And then you have the Japanese government, since World War II, since they got defeated in World War II, they was not allowed to have a large military. Now the American government is helping them build up their military. So things are heating up, and we out there warning y'all. We are warning y'all of what's going on in Davos, Switzerland with the DC. What's going on with that? We warning y'all what's going on with Russia and Crimea and United States being involved with that conflict was going to lead to World War III, nuclear annihilation of America and nuclear annihilation of Israel with them gutter rats at. We've been telling you these things. And we are measuring the times. Pursuant to 2nd Ezra, chapter 9, verse 1, we're measuring the times. We telling you what's coming down the pipe. And we marrying everything we see in the news. If it fits biblical prophecy, we marry with the scriptures. We bring it out to you, warning you week in and week out. But you got scoffers out there. You got men that know that they're Israel. But yet, what they do is they come up against what the apostles teach, starting from the apostle to all on down. The Alpha D microchip is the charagma. You know? And what's going to happen is people are going to line up for that. But back to these articles, we are measuring the times pursuant to 2nd Ezra 9 and 1, and we're telling you what's coming down the pipe, whether you were here, whether you were forbear. That's on y'all. Ezekiel 3 and 17. Whether you were here, whether you were forbear, we telling y'all. So your blood is off our hands. We telling you what's coming down the pipe. And this is Joel chapter 2, verse 1. Blow ye the trumpet in Zion and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Zion is a representation of Israel. To Zion, which means monument. It represents Israel. So it says, blow ye the trumpet in Zion and sound the alarm in my holy mountain. The trumpet is the scriptures. The trumpet is these scriptures, man. Week in and week out, doing sit downs, going out there in the highways and the byways, putting up all kind of videos. There's so many videos getting put up that it's hard to keep up. It says, and sounded an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for there is nigh at hand. What is the day of the Lord? When Yahweh shall crack them skies, bringing death, destruction, and deliverance. When the Lord put the spirit on these different nations, pursuant to Jeremiah 50 and 9, that assembly of great nations to come up against America and come up against its allies, such as the Israelis, them gutter rats. So it reads, back in Joel chapter 2, verse, I'm start at 1 again. Blow ye the trumpet in Zion and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand, a day of darkness and a day of gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong, there have not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. It's not talking about, and right here, when you go back up, it says, a great people and a strong. It's not talking about actual people. It's talking about nuclear missiles, ICBM nuclear missiles, supersonic, hypersonic nuclear missiles. That's what it's talking about. And it's talking about not this, and it's talking about the multiple warheads that's contained within the missiles. See, the missile itself is just a propeller to get the missile, to get the warheads from one place to the next. The dangerous part of the missile is the front, which is the warheads. So it reads, Joel chapter 2, verse 3. A fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. That flame that's propelling the missile, that's taking it to its location. And like I said, it says, a fire devoureth before them, that's them warheads, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Because what's going to happen once the missiles detonate and them warheads get unleashed? They're going to burn this bitch. They're going to destroy this bitch. America's going to be destroyed utterly. All these nations going to get together and shoot missiles on this country, pursuant to, like I said, Jeremiah 50 and 9, that assembly of great nations. Ezekiel, the 38th chapter, goes into that. It reads, a fire back in the Joel chapter 2, verse 3. A fire devoureth before them, and the flame burneth. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, because you got this land, certain parts of America are still beautiful. Certain parts of Maine, Nebraska, Vermont, Wyoming, it's beautiful, man. A whole bunch of greenery, trees, vegetation, animals. It's beautiful. But when these missiles hit, it says, a fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness, yea, and nothing shall escape them. Escape who? The missiles. Once they get launched off, whether they supersonic, hypersonic, or regular ICBM missiles, nuclear missiles, thermonuclear missiles. Also, when Yahweh Shah cracked them skies, bringing death, destruction, and deliverance, at the same time the missiles are being shot off. This land is going to become the lake of fire. It's going to become like a lake of fire. All these missiles hitting it, pelting it, and rocking it, and breaking it down, and busting it up. It says, verse 4, the appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen so shall they run. Like the noise of chariots on the top of mountains shall they leap. Like the noise of a flame, of fire that devoureth the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array. That's talking about the missiles. It's not talking about actual people. It's talking about missiles set in military formation being shot off. I'm going to say it again. Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 9, that assembly of great nations, they all going to shoot missiles off. So these missiles are going to be in military formation. It's not talking about people. It's talking about missiles. Like the noise of chariots on the top of mountains shall they leap. Like the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array. Before they face, the people shall be much pain. All faces shall gather blackness, scared to death. America, and talk about the American military, the Israeli military, and the militaries of countries that's slated to get hit with nuclear missiles. Their faces is going to be much pain and with blackness. Why? Because they're going to be scared to death in a confused state, not knowing what the hell to do. This is the end of these devils, of this devil's empire. It's the end of you. It's the end of your empire, devil, and there's nothing you could do about it. There's nothing you could do about it. But take this ass whooping that's coming, a spiritual ass whooping. It says, they shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war. This is about them nuclear missiles. It's not talking about men. Once again, they shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war, and they shall march everyone on his ways. And they shall not break their ranks, because they got these Patriot cruise missiles, or it's called they got these defense systems where they can shoot down missiles. And such as the Iron Dome, and I forgot the name of the American part. I think it's the Patriot something, where they could shoot down missiles. Well, none of these missiles are going to be shot down. None of these missiles are going to fall out the sky. These nuclear, hypersonic, supersonic, and ICBM missiles is going to hit their target and destroy that target. It's not going to be shot out the sky. They're not going to just fall out the sky. No, they're going to hit their targets. It says, neither shall one thrust another. They shall walk everyone in his path, and when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. Meaning, when another missile, when they shoot a missile off in the sky to to shoot it down, it's going to bounce right off that ICBM supersonic, hypersonic missile. Whatever defense mechanism that these devils try to shoot at these missiles, to shoot them at the sky, is not going to work. It says, they shall run to and fro. They shall run to and fro in the city. They shall run upon the wall. They shall climb upon the houses. They shall enter to the windows like a thief. They shall enter in at the windows like a thief. These talking about these nuclear missiles. It's not talking about people. It's talking about missiles. Destroying the infrastructure. Melting all the elements. It says, the earth shall quake. It says, the earth shall quake before them. The heavens shall tremble. The sun and the moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. Let's read it again. Joel chapter 2, verse 10. The earth shall quake before them. The earth shall quake before them. How the earth is going to quake before them? Do them nuclear missiles. 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 12. And it reads, the earth quickeneth, and the foundations thereof. The sea arises up with the waves from the deep. And the waves of it are troubled, and the fishes thereof also, before the Lord Yahweh, while Yahweh Shah, and the glory of his power, which is them nuclear missiles and them chariots. When Yahweh Shah cracked them skies. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. That bow is that silo that holds the arrows, which are the nuclear weapons. It says, his arrows that he shooteth are sharp. Let's read it again. For strong is his right hand. Whose right hand? Yahweh. Why Yahweh Shah? Because he's going to put the spirit on these nations to shoot missiles off. It says, for strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world, because they're going to be nuclear. They're going to be first and foremost spiritually guided by Yahweh, while Yahweh Shah, and laser guided by Esau's technology, which was given to him by Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. It says, behold, the plagues are sent, and shall not return again until it come upon the earth. What are the plagues? What are them plagues? This is Zechariah chapter 14, verse 12. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. And that's twofold. Actual being consumed by fire, by thermonuclear destruction and concentrated fire from them chariots, but also Esau's endeavors. What he going to do 40 years from now? And the elder North Carolina, South Carolina narrator put up a video where this devil was boasting that America will never fall, and that's a damn lie. That show you the pride in these devils, man. They proud as fuck, man. Excuse my language. These devils are proud as hell, saying that they will never go down. Showing because they got the largest military, the most fearsome military. But you're forgetting about the Lord Yahweh Shah's military. And all that technology you devils have has been given to you. You have been given the blessing of the sword by Isaac, our forefather, which is Yahweh Shah. And guess what? When he was Isaac, he gave you the blessing of the sword. Now Yahweh Shah is about to take that blessing from you and put a spiritual foot in your ass. It says, back in Zechariah chapter 14, verse 12, and this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. Their future endeavors, their eyes being consumed, all their future endeavors, and their tongue being consumed away in their mouth, all these philosophies, all this manners that they spewing out of their potholes. You see, these devils are going down, and they see it. The elites know. That's why they got these dumbs, deep underground military bunkers. These deep under the water escape whatever you call them deep underground, not underground, under the water. These things, I'm saying, these escape shelters that these underground cities, underwater cities that Esau built to escape the destruction, going out of space, and these space stations. It ain't gonna matter. It ain't gonna matter. It says, and it shall come to pass in that day that a great tumult from the Lord shall be among them, and they shall lay hold every one on the hand of his neighbor, and on his hand shall rise up against the hand of his neighbor. That's going into the race rise and everything, all the destruction that's going to be coming. But the main point is Zechariah the 14th chapter, the 12th verse. Because death and destruction is coming. Death and destruction is on its way. By the way of thermonuclear destruction. It says, back in Zechariah, back in 2nd Ezra chapter 16 verse 14. Behold, the plagues are sent. Now you know the plagues, which is the nuclear missiles, shall not return again. It says, behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again until they consume the whole earth. Slack it. Let me read that again. It says, behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return until they come upon the earth. The fire is kindled with fire. The fire from nuclear missiles, from them nuclear warheads. The fire from them chariots. When Yahushua cracked them skies. The fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consume the foundations of the earth, like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer, returneth not backward. Even so the plagues that shall be sent upon the earth shall not return again. Because once the missiles are shot off, that's it, man. Once some nuclear missiles are shot off, that's it. There's no turning back. There's no turning back. That's just the bottom line. There's no turning back. So back in Joel chapter 2, verse 11, it says, and the Lord shall utter his voice before his army, for his camp is very great, for he is strong that it executed his word. For the day of the Lord is great and very terrible, and who can abide it? Who can abide that day, man? Nobody. Who can abide it? That day is going to be very terrible and great. This is Zechariah chapter 1, verse 14. It says, the great day of the Lord is near, it is near, which is thermonuclear destruction. Contrary to fire from them chariots when Yahushua cracked them skies, and hasteth greatly, even the voice of the day of the Lord. The mighty man shall cry there bitterly. Because we out there in the houses and about. Who's the voice of the Lord? It's prophets. Telling you what's coming down the pipe. Telling you what's coming down. In the year 2023, it's shaping up to be a hell of a year. Look at the food prices. Look at eggs. The price of eggs, $9, $10. That's called inflation. Things is only going to heat up. They got this conference going on in Davos, Switzerland, the World Economic Forum, and what's going to come forth out of that. So things are heating up, man. It says back in Zechariah chapter Zephaniah chapter 1 verse 15. That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation. A day of wasteness and desolation. Did not the Most High created the waster to destroy? Isaiah the 54th chapter. It says, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness, a day of the trumpet, a day of the trumpet, and alarm against the fenced cities, which is America, and against the high towers. I will bring distress upon men, and they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Lord Yahweh, and their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as the dung. You hear that? That day is gonna be great. So you got all this military formation, all these military pacts being made by these different nations, some with the West, some with Russia. But something's going to happen. See, well, Europe is suffering from all these sanctions that's being placed upon Russia. So these nations is going to turn on America for some reason, but they suffering. And the Russian ruble, the Russian people are not suffering from the sanctions. The American people, is the European people. So something's going to happen, whereas the Lord is going to allow these nations to come up against America and destroy this bitch. Isaiah chapter 24, verse, I'm going to start at 19. The earth is utterly broken down. What's going to break the earth down? These nuclear missiles from these different nations being shot off. Once again, Jeremiah 50, verse 9 on down. That assembly of great nations come up against Babylon, which is America. The earth is utterly broken down. Isaiah chapter 24, verse 19. The earth is utterly broken down. The earth is clean dissolved. The earth is moved exceedingly. What's going to move the earth exceedingly? These nuclear missiles, hypersonic, supersonic, and the multiple warheads. The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage. And the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again. Talking about America. America's going to fall, not rise again. And you got this Edomite, this proud ass devil talking about America's not going to fall, not in 10 generations. Something to that effect. It's proud as hell, man. Proud as hell. But then you got the prophecies in Isaiah, the 24th chapter, the 20th verse. It says, the earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage. And the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again. So what the hell that devil talking about? It says, and it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord Yahweh, Yahweh Shah, shall punish the host of the high ones that are on high, starting with the international bankers. All them proud devils in Davos, Switzerland, at that World Economic Forum, they may escape the destruction just to go into slavery, pursuant to Ezekiel chapter 39, the 39th chapter, the 14th verse, where the Lord's going to sever our continuing employment. You know? So there's no escaping for these devils, man. See, these devils thinking that they're going to escape the destruction. They are, only to be slapped in chains. Only to be slapped in chains. That's what's going to happen. So this is Salaki real quick. Salaki, this is so this is back in Isaiah, the 24th chapter. It says back in 24 and 21, and it shall come to pass at that day that the Lord shall punish the hosts, which is the armies of the high ones that are on high, which are the international bankers, starting with the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the DuPonts, the Gettys, on down. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord Yahweh shall punish the hosts of the high ones that are on high, and the kings of the earth upon the earth, and they shall be gathered together as prisoners. And they shall be gathered together as prisoners are gathered in a pit, and they shall be shut up in the prison, and after many days shall they be visited. Yeah. when we come back, when those who make it come down New Jerusalem out of them chariots, they're gonna come and round up all the international beggars and throw chains upon them, slap chains upon their necks, on their red ass waist, on their legs. So them fetters of iron is gonna be put on your necks. You know? It says, okay, let me see. Salaki brothers, bear with me. Oh, I lost my place. Salaki. Yeah. These devils are going into slavery. Like I said, the Lord's going to punish the host of the high ones that are on high. This is Isaiah the 24th chapter, the 22nd verse on down. And the precept to go with that is Ezekiel 39, verse 14. Where the Lord's going to sever our continuing employment. You ain't going to escape the judgment that's coming. You're going to escape the destruction, the thermonuclear destruction, only to be put into slavery. So here's the article. These nations are gearing up for war. We have wars, and rumors of wars. We have pestilence. We have uproars of the people. Measure the times, because we're in some heavy times. So with that, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakah Kwadash, and double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and salutation you Akim out there that's been pushing this word in truth and in sincerity. And with that, I'm going to say Shalom.